Good evening, everyone. Myself Shundeep, and today I'm going to discuss about some two things you can see just behind me in the board, and these two things are called as gametogenesis. Okay, so actually these things comes from that biology chapter of class 12, ISC especially, and those who are in West Bengal boards they can also follow it up. Okay, and also in the case of CBSE. So what is gametogenesis? Okay, what are gametes actually? So gametes are nothing but that sperm and ovum that you all know, that the male being carries the sperm and the female being carries the ovum. Okay, so in the lifetime, in the course of reproduction, the sperm matches with the ovum and it forms what? It forms zygote. Then it develops into a mature baby. Okay. So so when does these things happen? Okay. In biology, we call a term as puberty. Okay. So what is puberty? Puberty is a particular age or time span in the life of individuals. In case of female, for the girls, it becomes it's actually 10 to 14, and for males it is approximately 12 to 16. Though it varies, okay, in some cases. So what happens in that time? Both that male and the female, or the girl or the boys, it become reproductively active. So what is puberty? It's a time period in the life when the boy and the girl become reproductively active. Okay. So what happens inside? How they become active, and how this ovum and this sperm they gets developed. Okay. At the top you can see this 2n and 2n I have mentioned here. So what is 2n and what is this n? Okay. First we have to make sure. I have to make sure that what are these things. Okay. 2n means it's the number of chromosome, and we call it as diploid, and n is the number of chromosome, we know it as haploid. Okay, it's just the half of the 2n. Okay, as you know, in human being we have 46 total chromosomes, 44 is autosomes, and there are two allosomes. Okay, so what happens in the case of male? We have 22 pairs of autosomes, that means 44 autosomes, and XY, one X chromosome and one Y chromosome. And in the case of female, they have 44 autosomes, or 22 pairs of autosomes, and two X chromosomes. Okay, so let's get back to it. So 2n and 2n, these are primary germ cells. Means, as you know, in the inner lining of our testis, in the testis of the human beings, of the male, there remains some epithelial cells. Okay, and their chromosome is about 2n of number. Same in the case of female, there are some primary germ cells, or very young oocytes. Okay, we call them as primary germ cells. You can take them as primary germ cells. So what happened? You know mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis is that cell division which happens in that body cells, and the chromosome number remains same. Okay, and what happens in meiosis? You can see there is some touch of meiosis here. So what is meiosis? It is a cells. It is a division of cells where the number of chromosome gets halved, and that generally happen in the reproductive cells. So why meiosis only happen in reproductive cells, not in the body cells? Because if meiosis happen in body cells, then what will happen? Suppose cell A, it have 46 chromosomes, okay, and in turn after division A become A2 or A3, it have 23 chromosomes. So there is inequality, no, and the cell will not be able to survive. And why it happens in reproductive cells only? Because in sexual reproduction, one reproductive cells comes from the male and one comes from the female. Okay, so they have to merge together. That's why in the case of, as we are going for the human reproduction, so that's why male develops 23 chromosomes, 22 autosomes with the X chromosome, sorry, Y chromosome, and the female takes 22 autosomes and one X chromosome. Okay, X or Y, whatever it is. So what happened? Sorry, primary germ cells, it have 2n number of chromosome. So it goes for one mitotic division. It becomes 2n and 2n, and then again 2 2n, 2n, 2n and 2n. Very simple. One mother cell or parental cell, it develops into 4 cells. Okay, we call them as spermatogonia. Then what happened after these 4 cells? One cell becomes, it takes some time. Okay, it takes some time to grow. So when it grows up, we call it as primary spermatocyte. Okay, so when the cell has grown into primary spermatocyte, now it's ready for division. Okay, so what is the division? Look what happened here. The number of chromosomes remains same. Okay, so this is the mitotic divisions, and in this stage you can see this 2n, it develops, it divides into n and n. Look, the number of chromosomes, it gets halved, 2n to n and n. Okay, so here I have mentioned first meiotic division. Now this n and n, the cells containing n and n number of chromosomes, we call them as secondary spermatocyte. So secondary spermatocytes forms after the first meiotic division from primary spermatocyte. This secondary spermatocytes, it again goes for division and it forms spermatids. Look, 4 spermatids, and we call this step as second meiotic division. Then furthermore, this spermatids, it forms sperm. Okay, or motile sperm. Motile means the sperm that can move, or fertile sperm. This particular step we call it as spermiation. What? Spermiation. From spermatid to mature sperm, we call it as spermiation. Okay, so that is the part of spermatogenesis. Now comes, this is the another part in the case of female. Look, this step, this particular step, it's almost same. Almost means it's totally same. 2n, 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 2n. So it's a mitosis that's happening there. So what you call this thing as oogonia. Just as like in the male case, this 1 2n, it gets the chance to develop in a big size. Okay, so we call it as primary oocyte. It grows means it is ready for division. Okay, so what happens? Okay, one question is there, I missed in the first instance, that what is the need of growth? You know, when one cell have to divide into 2, so whatever thing was inside it, you know, that cloning, the same person like you have to develop a same person like you, so you have to grow all those things that are inside you, isn't it? So that 2n number of chromosome, these cells, this primary oocyte and this primary spermatocyte, they grows, they synthesize their DNA and the proteins and all those things, okay, to form new cells. So just like the first one, it goes for first meiotic division and second meiotic division. But there is some criticality. Okay, look what happened. This primary spermatocyte, it forms primary oocyte, it forms secondary oocyte n and n. This secondary oocyte, it again divides into a mature cells, and look, there is one regressed cells. This one is also regressed. Okay, let me just make some bit of correction. Just a second. Now I think it will make some sense. Okay, some mistakes I have done there. Just a second. Now I think it will be good for your eyes. Okay, so this one cell from this primary oocyte, it becomes fast polar body. Means it becomes deactivated. Okay, and this forms one secondary oocyte. Then this secondary oocyte, it forms only one. What is this? One mature ova. Okay, one mature ova, and it again forms another second polar body, and you can see there are total 3 polar bodies. Okay, so what is the need of polar body? Why polar body is happening in the case of female? Okay, let me write another thing. This is spermatogenesis. and this is Oogenesis. Okay. So what is the need of this developing these polar bodies? Look, there is one ova, it comes out from the body of the female on a particular timetable. We call it as menstrual cycle. Only one ova in a month. Okay. So, and there are so many sperms, they run together, they compete to fertilize that one ova. So it is a race, and the female, this female body, this female cell, it have to be very precise. It have to be in the best of its form. Okay. Look, this one polar body, it sacrifices itself for the well-being of this secondary oocyte that is going to be a mature ova. So on one time, on 1 month, it only forms one mature ova. Suppose if it forms four mature ova, then what will happen? At a time there will be four babies coming for that, four sperms fertilizing the four ovums, and it will be a heck of a load the mother. Okay. So you may ask, sir, that also happen? Yes, that may happen, but it's not the way. Okay, biology selected us, the nature selected us, that it is better to carry only one baby at a time, so that all the nutritions, all the needs that can be only directed to only one thing. Okay. So what happened? These sperms, they are bound to go for this ovum and they fertilize it. Okay. And these polar bodies, they do contain the same chromosomes as in that of that mature ova. Okay. So there are three steps actually. I have mentioned: multiplication, growth, and maturation. So these particular steps up to that, let me draw in pink pencil, pink pen. Up to this is the maturation. Sorry, extremely sorry. This is multiplication. Look, the number is increasing. Okay, and this particular is growing. This stage is called as growth stage, and this is the maturation stage. Okay, what do you call it as? Maturation. Yes. So I hope it will help you. And in the next videos I am going to discuss about the hormonal regulation. Okay, this thing is not that much easy, that much uh, clean. Okay, there are so many complexity inside. So in the next video I am going to just discuss about that hormonal regulation, how the hormones of the bodies they develop, they just administer this whole process. Okay. So that's it for today. Thank you. Have a nice day. Take care.